Welcome to this tutorial for Jevero Cost. Today we're going to see an overview of the application, how to create materials, how to import a model from Jevero, and how to assign material, nest the various type of nesting that are available, and how to report the whole costing out. Jevero Cost start with this interface that you can see on screen that shows the material panel. So here I have all my materials. Select one and I will see a preview of the material in the material preview, and I will have the parameters of the material on the left panel. And I can create easily new material just by either selecting old material and changing it. So I can take this one is a leather material, or I can take a single sheet material, or I can take a roll, for example, and change the name. I call it another roll. Change the dimension, so it's gonna be 47 inches per meter. I can change the length. I can say yards instead of meters. I can impose an allowance on the X and Y, dimensions for the material, and I can set the default allowance for each part. And then ultimately I can, of course, set the cost per meter, per yard, or whatever. And when I'm done, I can just save, and here I will have my another roll, that is the roll material here, saved out. Once I have all the materials that I need, probably I'm going to do this just once, I can go to the model setup, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this this model that I have already prepared, exported from Jevero as a Jevero Cost file. Automatically will include everything that you need. And the materials, interesting side note, the materials are synchronized between Jevero and Jevero Cost. So here I have all the parts. As you can see, when I hover on top of one part, I can see a preview, a larger preview. What I want to do first is I want to check, okay, this is my sample size, my costing size is going to be 8.5. I can change that. I can say, oh, my sample size is 8.5 and I want to cost the size 10. It's going to ask me. As you can see, the part that is selected automatically, the costing size check moves from 8.5, which is the sample size, to 10. So I'm going to bring it back to 8.5. And you can do this. You can have the model in one size and then do the costing in another size if like you want that. I am going to start from a couple of parts. For example, I see that this part is rotated in a weird way. The head engineer created it rotated, and I want to straighten it up for a better nesting. And I can either do this by first I'm gonna double click the icon of the part. Second, I can just rotate it with this track bar that I have, or I can use the mouse wheel to rotate, or I can pick 2 points and this will automatically align along that line that I created. I can rotate by 190 degrees if I want, and I can also go here and do measurement, so I can measure in millimeters how long this is. So, and if I click, the measure is copied then to the clipboard and I can add it somewhere. When I'm fine, I'm gonna click OK. I'm gonna do the same for this part and I click OK. I'm gonna just select the 2 parts. I created a simple I called it roll, but it's actually it's a strip. So I'd better change the name. I call it strip. Again, I'm gonna save to remove this one. So again, I'm gonna select the 2 and I'm gonna go for set material. Here you can see all the material. you can search for your material. I'm going to search for my strip. There it is. And now this is automatically nested on the strip that I defined. I can take a couple of other parts and just straighten them a bit, and I can then assign a material, and then we can see how to nest these 3 parts. So I'm going to select the 3 of these, and I'm going to use 47 inches per yard. That's great. And then you can see from the left panel, you're going to have a quick view of the material that you have assigned and the parts that you have assigned for each material. So it's a, let's say, reversed view than what you have here in the part panel. It's a material view. And if I switch to part nesting, now you can see that there's a bunch of parts that are ready for nesting that have not been nested yet. So I can click on start nesting. It will automatically find the best nesting for the part, for the couple, and then it will fill my row, in this case, with the overall nesting and calculate the efficiency based on that. So here I have my nesting, and as you can see, the packing here it's quite tight. I don't think I can do better than this, but maybe I can do something better here. And if I want to change this type of nesting, I can go for the manual nesting. So in this case, it will tell me, hey, there's already a nesting here, you want to override it. And what I can do here is I can take these 2 parts and manually place them, and say that I am placing them like this, and then this other one I'm gonna place it like that. I'm not sure if this is then gonna be just the best, possibly the automated nesting. In fact, yeah, it's not good, but let's say that I have some constraints, I don't know, on the way the parts are laid out and whatnot, and this is a way I can do the nesting. If I click on accept, then this is gonna be my nesting. I'm not satisfied, just take this one and restart it and get an alternative version, which is again gonna be the one I got from before. And while I'm nesting, you can see that in this case I am nesting this part, so the part is highlighted in red because I cannot change it, because it will break the nest. So here we are. Now I have these 3 parts that are nested. If I switch over to my report tab, I have the parts that I nested. Now so we've seen that you can nest things with the manual nesting here, with the automated nesting, and that the strips are basically automatic nested in the background. The last thing that I want to show you is the ability of handling leather. So in this case I'm gonna pick a couple of parts, say this one. So I'm gonna take these 3 parts and take this leather here, and I'm gonna say that this is a prime part, and these are non-prime. So I have 3 parts nested on leather, then 2 are non-prime and 1 is prime. So what I can do, I can check how these parts are nested on the leather with the scale area placement, and so this is the interlocking area, This is the interlocking area for this one, and this is the one that has been chosen. I can click on the other if I want, like, oh no, I want to use really this and not this other one, so I can choose. The same goes here, and when I click OK, the three are again automatically nested and computed. And here is this letter I have, the area in square feet, the quality, and then I have my yield, my efficiency, and all the data about the letter. So you can see that on the top bar I have the letter, on the bottom, so the middle part, I have the non-letter parts, and then I can add at the bottom some other costing if in the event I need other costs. And of course, on top I can save my model. So whenever I click on save, save my model. If I do a new, then I open up back this model. It's opening up again. Here I have it. So it's very interesting how this is all handled. And what I can again do when I've prepared my model, I can go for create report. With the report, I can navigate to my folder where I want to export, and I can export a Excel, I can export a PDF, I can export a XML or a JSON file with the bill of material, and then I can just give it a name, call it test, and then this is you can press save, and then this is going to be saved. I can open up and get my my Excel file with the parts I nested, with the letter parts, and everything else, and then I can get like the total cost and whatnot. And yeah, in this case, of course, it's ridiculous. The prices have no meaning, but in general, that's the kind of information that you can get. And with that, this closes this very quick tutorial about Jevero Cost.